Well, the thing about being an artist is that you never rest. I mean, everything you see is a potential painting. The sky, the sea, the clouds. So I suppose living on the Isle of Wight gives me constant inspiration, you know. A bit like an obsession. It's just inescapable. I've always been like this as long as I can remember. But there was a brief time though when I didn't really care. In my teens. God, I was a rebel. Although quite a passive one, to be honest. Oh God. Where did the years go? I paint pretty much every day now. I can't remember the last time I took a whole day off actually, let alone a weekend. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I suppose it is a bit of an obsession. It's in my bones. It's just sort of elementary, like breathing. So I guess I won't stop painting till I stop breathing. Now there's a thought. People admire what I do in the same way as I admire them. How can I produce a painting like that from blank canvas, they say. Well, how do you produce a patterned sweater from a ball of wool, or a gourmet meal from a few ingredients? I mean, it's not magic, it's just a bit of know-how, an eagerness to keep on improving and maturing, and I suppose, well, 30 years of practice. This is my school report from 1966 to 1969, and I wasn't an academic child at all. But apart from all the E's and D's for everything else, we've got Art A, 1968, Art A, 1969, Art A. What else was I going to do with my life? Old Max Heller. Well, there's a tale in there and a warning, because I invented Max Heller. I invented Max Heller to sell more paintings, basically, to sell a different kind of painting. The problem is, if you're an artist, you tend to become typecast like an actor. And so if you become well known for painting aviation subjects, as I did, that's all anybody wants to buy. But as an artist, that's not all you ever want to paint. You want to paint other things, you want to experiment, you want to... So I invented Max Heller, and that gave me a way of expressing myself in other ways of doing paintings that I would never dream of doing under my own name. And the minute I did that, the minute I started signing these paintings as Max Heller, they started selling. And there was a point in 2005, 2006, when Heller was actually outselling Ivan Berryman, and that became a major problem. Because people wanted to meet the artist, they wanted to know who Heller was, and I couldn't tell them. I made up ever more ridiculous stories about why they couldn't meet him. And the whole thing became a complete monster. It really did, and it swallowed me up. And eventually, on one of the first blogs on my new website, I just confessed to everything. So for anybody out there who's a Heller fan, I'm sorry. And the moral is, don't tell porcupines. Well, my other true love is music. I love music in all its forms. And for many, many years I had a parallel career as an artist during the day and a musician for most of the night, and that really took its toll. I don't play live anymore. I haven't played since the end of the 1980s on a stage, but well, apart from two little short ones that some of you will know about. But I still write, I still play, I still record, and that's enough for me for now. I was once dispatched to interview a top artist, a really well-known artist, and I used to write for a magazine many years ago, and I spent an entire afternoon with this artist, who shall remain nameless, who went on and on about how painting is a titanic struggle between artists and canvas. And I thought, you know, if you find it that difficult, perhaps you should try doing something else. Right, I think that's about it for that one. The Running Man logo came about. It was just something that I scribbled on a beer mat in a pub once. The little man with the big hat. And then I lost it for many years, but I always remembered it. And then I was clearing out some files one day, and there it was, this little scribbled little character. And that was it. Something just clicked, and it became my logo. I think it just really, it's me, always on the run. Well, this is the camera room, where all the paintings are photographed before they finally go off for reproduction. Tricks of the trade. You'll notice I've not only got a polarising filter on the front of the camera, but I also put polarising film over the lights. And the reason for that is we get a complete polarisation of the light, and all reflections on the painting are banished forever. I just wish the BBC would do that with their art documentaries. Without all that glare on the paintings, it would be so much more enjoyable. Are you listening out there, Auntie? People are often surprised when they ask me about my influences. I think they kind of expect it to be other war artists or something like that, but quite the contrary. I mean, the first artist that I really fell in love with was, of course, J.M.W. Turner. And I remember being at primary school where there was a picture of the Fighting Temeraire. And every morning in assembly I used to sit there and just stare at this painting until I knew every detail of it. And I knew nothing about the artist, so when I found out, it just deepened my love and affection for his work. Incredible, absolutely incredible stuff. And so innovative as well. Other references? Well, I'd have to say Ilya Repin, the Russian artist. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Look him up, you will be amazed. But my absolute hero of heroes would be Alexander Stanhope Forbes, a Newlyn artist. His stuff is just breathtaking, breathtaking. The understanding of light and texture and reflection and mood, it's just beyond anything I could ever hope to achieve. But it doesn't stop me from having a go, does it? The research. The research can take longer than the painting. Very often, I've spent sometimes
days, weeks researching something, getting it all together, collating it all, making sure you've got everything right, the right aircraft, the right markings, the right weather conditions, the right location. And you do all that before you make a mark on a piece of paper, let alone the canvas. But it's not just researching, in the case of aviation, the colours of the aircraft, the markings, the registration. It's the topography as well. You know, if a certain action took place over a certain coast, you've got to get that right. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. I mean, there's no point trying to record history if you're going to just fill it full of inaccuracies, because one of the dangers, of course, is that you produce a painting like this of something that may be painted for the first time. That can become the reference for other artists and other historians. So if I just make it up or get it wrong, that can be disastrous for the future. Well, the thing about painting really is it's just an illusion, you know. It's just a series of tricks, and the more tricks you know, the better you'll be at it. I mean, how do you make glass look like glass, or flesh look like flesh, or metal look like metal, you know? How do you do clouds? How do you do sea? Once you learn each trick, it's a process, you know? And then you'll be away. I mean, I'd say be brave, have a go at something, even if you don't think you can do it, just give it a go. I mean, people say, oh, I don't paint that because I don't know how, I don't paint that because it might go wrong. And I say to them, look, so it goes wrong, it's a painting, nobody's going to die, you know, just start again. But the chances are, you challenge yourself, you'll crack it,